Welcome to the Oddity Shop, where the bizarre is always on sale.
Hey everybody, welcome back to the Oddity Shop. I am sitting here with the one and only, the lovely Kara Warner.
Karakovic.
I did it again.
I don't know why you can't just say Kara.
I don't know.
I don't ever say Zach Palmer.
So Zachary. I think the reason is every time I call you, there's a couple Karas in my phone, so I have to tell Siri call Kara Warner because I've just never changed your last name. So it just sticks.
You're also like my mom because you'll sometimes answer, you'll be like, Kara Warner. And my mom's always like, hi, Kara Warner. Like she's literally done that her whole entire life of having me.
It rolls off the tongue so well.
Maybe that's why I haven't gotten rid of it officially yet. So you're Zach. I don't think you said that.
No, I didn't say that. We got too caught up in your name. I'm Zach. Hello, everybody.
Hello.
What's been going on this week?
Way too much. Well, I'm just going to get into something.
Oh, God. Here we go.
Well, we have to address it. We got a lot of... First off, I don't even know how I want to articulate this. Let me start by saying we always put our research in the show notes. So everything, anywhere we get any of our stuff is in the show notes. Probably should clarify that a little bit more. If you want to know where we got our information, it's in the show notes. Okay.
Second clarity, we are not perfect.
Correct.
And we never plan to be. This is something that's fun. We're not researchers.
But we're just not making up stuff or just claiming to know these things. We are researching it to the best of our ability, and we are putting all of that in the show notes for you guys. So I just want to put that out there because Zach was uploading some stuff to YouTube. Some of the episodes we've gotten a little bit behind on for the YouTube at least. So he's uploading some, and within, what would you say?
2 hours.
We had all of these hate comments, a wild ride of an email to our,
Oddity Shop podcast at gmail.com.
With all of these other theories, people telling us we don't know what we're talking about. We're going to get lawsuits against us if we don't remove this, like all this crazy stuff. And like the whole time I was on cloud 9. Is there a higher cloud? I was on it. You
Cloud
and I
10.
were laughing so hard.
I just think it's been like kind of an unspoken milestone for us, right?
Yes.
And we got our first hate mail and it's like, are we making it?
First off, though, we thought we were going to be really devastated if we got hate mail or things like that, or hate comments is more probably like it. But
yeah, when we first launched, I think we were like terrified of that. And now we're like,
yeah,
all right.
I don't really care anymore, to be completely honest. I just don't care. But this was more not, I mean, I guess it was against us. Like,
if you want, you can go look at it. It's the one of our videos on YouTube, maybe the Fenn's Treasure one.
I just thought it was comical because the whole time you're telling me this story, I'm kind of like, this is dumb. Why are people doing this? Like, the story is cool, but it's just like crazy. I even made a comment about how it's like, you know, it went viral. People do crazy ass things when things go viral. And then it's just hilarious that this is the episode that set people off on us.
Right.
For treasure.
You know, to each their own. I think the cool thing is we got interaction, right? So obviously we talked about something people were passionate about, and I love it. Can we flip to positive, kind of cool shout out news, though? We did want to come back to you. A couple weeks ago, we were talking about a podcast called It's an Odd World After All, and we kind of asked for like a more official promo. So she has sent us our trailer. We will cut it in right now.
Hey oddballs, I'm Jensen and the host of It's an Odd World After All, the podcast. Are you in need of a good spook? This podcast has you covered. Tune in to listen to real life paranormal events every week. You know, the things that go bump in the night.
Unidentified flying objects.
And strange creatures in the forest.
Go follow us on It's an Odd World After All podcast on Instagram and Facebook.
Also, head over to it'sanoddworldafterall.com for more, or to submit your own spooky paranormal story to be featured on an episode.
Don't forget to share us with your family and friends.
There you have it. It's an odd world after all. check her out. All of her information will be linked in our show notes. Kara, you want to tell them kind of a little bit more about your thoughts on it?
Yeah, I kind of already brought it up in one of the other episodes, but I just like it because it's really short. It's like little like tidbits. I mean, some of the episodes are only even like 10 minutes long, like 15, 20. So it's like if you have short drives or your attention span isn't as long for ours, it's still kind of odd stuff. Oddworld after all. She calls her listeners oddballs too, which I think is cute. And it's just creepy stories she gets from Reddit. So it's like true stories, which I've been begging you people to give me. And she just does a really good job. Her name is Jensen.
Jensen. All of it's down in the show notes. Go give her some love. Fellow oddball. What's not to love about that?
What else you got?
I guess also on the flip side of the hate mail, we should thank everybody. We have gotten so many reviews on Apple this week and a couple on Facebook, and just want to take a quick second to thank anyone who has written anything or given us a 5-star. We appreciate the heck out of you guys.
Sure, thank you.
That's all I got. You got anything else?
I got wine.
Of course you do. Do you have a question for me this week?
Nope.
Come on.
I've really been slacking on the questions. I kind of forgot. Oh, I'm wearing my twin. I just spit all over. I'm wearing my twin paranormal t-shirt though, if you care.
I do care. I almost wore the Sam and Colby one, but I went with Mystery Mansion instead.
I see that, Winchester. I wonder who bought you that.
Oh, someone who sucks.
And I have a question for you.
Okay.
Did you get the new Sam and Colby merch?
Absolutely not. I did not sit and hound the website waiting for it to launch to get it.
I didn't sit and hound. I just set a timer. And what did I tell you? It's going to be sold out by the time I get to it. And I got to it even earlier than it was supposed to launch, and everything was sold out. I did snag 2 t-shirts, but
I did not believe you that was even going to happen, but good on you for snagging some.
Yeah. And then they're like, we don't even know if we're restocking this stuff. And I was like, oh, thank God I got it.
Well, that's how they get you to buy it.
No, they never said that. They said that after. They're like, we're working with our team to try to restock it because we didn't think we would sell out. I'm like, please. Anyway, all right. That's all I've got. That's all you got?
That's all I got.
Well, I kind of was thinking about it. And we did Nain Rouge, but that's really the only like locally thing we've done.
Yeah.
So I was kind of thinking I want to do something local-ish. So today we're talking about the David Whitney House, better known as the Whitney Detroit. A fine dining establishment.
Okay, so I've known it was in the realm of the paranormal, but I've never actually heard the story.
All right. David Whitney was born in 1830 in Watertown, Massachusetts, and he later moved to Michigan. I think he kind of bopped around, but whatever. In 57, he started a lumber business with his brother Charles, establishing himself as a lumber baron.
Ooh, fancy.
Yeah. He began expanding through Ohio, Indiana, Pennsylvania, and they became number 1 in the business. So like, cool. He married his first wife, Flora.
I'm sorry. I'm still stuck on the lumber baron.
I know.
He established himself as a lumber baron. So does that mean he gave himself the title?
Okay, I kind of thought that at first, but I don't think it meant that. I think it means like, when you become something, you're establishing yourself as that. So
now that we have hate mail, can we be podcast barons? Baroness for you.
What does it entail to be a baron?
I don't know. A badass name? Okay, go on, Laura.
Flora. All right. They had 4 children: David, Flora Ann, Catherine, and Grace. Once in Detroit, David surrounded himself with the community's wealthiest. He ended up gaining the nickname Mr. Woodward Avenue. This was due to all the investments in real estate in Detroit and up and down Woodward, which this just reminds me of Pitbull, Mr. Worldwide. Doesn't it not?
I wasn't thinking it until now, but I see it.
That's what I thought immediately. All right. So Mr. Woodward Avenue also loved the Detroit Athletic Club, DAC. The Detroit Athletic. Oh my God. Athletic. Say
Good
it
job.
for me. Athletic Club. So the DAC.
There you go.
All right. So the DAC is a club. It's a private social club, which sounds miserable to me, but it was located in the heart of Detroit's theater, sport, and entertainment district. I don't know if it's still there. I don't know anything.
The name sounds familiar. I'm assuming it is.
Okay. Don't come for me, DAC. Okay. David loved the establishment, or that the establishment was committed to upholding the traditions and elegance of its past, which again, this sounds miserable to me.
Yeah, this just sounds like old boys club.
Yeah. So all of that matters because this is why David built the mansion where he did. It overlooked the athletic club. So that's why he picked where he did. Okay. So now let's kind of get into the Whitney. This is a historic mansion located at 4421 Woodward Avenue, Detroit, Michigan. The Whitney was constructed in the 1890s as a private residence for David Whitney and his family. So he did make it to be a mansion.
Gotcha.
The mansion was built between 1890 and 1894. This thing is 22,000 square feet, 3-story mansion. It has 23 rooms, more than 200 windows. Some of the windows are like Tiffany windows, whatever that means, but they're valued at more than the house right now.
Yeah, Tiffany glass is like
Tiffany glass.
High-end luxury glass.
So some of the windows are valued more than the mansion. And there's around 25 fireplaces and 10 bathrooms.
That's kind of surprising they built it in 4 years in the 1800s.
This is even weirder, like just because this is wild, but it's the first residential home in Detroit to have an elevator.
Oh, interesting.
And on the first floor, along with like a ton of ornate mosaics that apparently took years to lay, Thomas Edison wired their mantle for electric light bulbs.
Wow.
So they could basically have the lantern switched from gas lamps to light bulbs just to show off. Because at that time, you wouldn't run electricity like that. So it literally was just to switch on and off for show.
I mean, if I was a lumber baron, I would probably do some things for show.
It is said, though, that he was fine. He was quoted, oh my Lord, I cannot talk. He was quoted saying that he would have lived in a cabin, but his wife at the time really wanted like a elegant, luxurious place. But I'm sure, you're a lumber baron, and if your wife wants it, you're going to like make it the greatest.
You got to make the lumber baroness happy.
Right. And then obviously with him being a lumber baron, the wood and the woodwork throughout the whole mansion was only like top notch. It was the best. And then apparently each room has a different story as far as like the theme of the decor. Like each one is different.
I love a themed room.
So when I was little, I always thought I was going to live in a huge house, and each house is going to like have a different like color theme and like whatever theme. And I'm like, that is way too much.
Oh, see, I still want that. And
I love it.
Instead of hallways, I want moats with a gondola.
The Whitney is currently valued at over $12 million right now. So, not that bad.
Got to be one of the most expensive places in Detroit, I would imagine. Like residential home-wise.
Maybe. Okay, so David's first wife, Flora, died in 1882. So she never was a part of the mansion. Only 1 year after she died, he remarried to the one and only Sarah, Flora's sister.
Keeping it in the family. All right. Wait, so Laura is the one who wanted it built.
Flora.
Okay. She wanted it built and then she didn't get to enjoy it? I think
she wanted to, but she wasn't around even when it started getting built. So it was his second wife, Sarah, that was more involved in it. It's really weird. I actually had to re-research all that because I was getting very confused because it just says like his wife. And then I'm like, wait, what wife? Like it's very confusing. But she died before it was even... she died in 1882. It didn't start being built until 1890. Gotcha. So she was not even around. I'm sure maybe she wanted a mansion. Who wouldn't? Okay, so cutting to 1900, David died of a heart attack. 1917, Sarah died, leaving the mansion unoccupied aside from a caretaker. So a caretaker was there for years just taking care of it because, the kids are all grown. They had the 4 kids. They're off doing whatever children of a baron do. I don't know. But I didn't really know this stuff, so I think you're going to find this cool. In 1832, Wayne County Medical Society moved into the Whitney, which I didn't know that. Yeah. There they opened a hospice center for tuberculosis patients. And the medical center was able to move in to the mansion with no payment. And the Whitney family continued to pay the taxes on the mansion, which was $15,000 a year.
I mean, there's probably some lumber money.
Well, yeah, but I'm just saying the kids just continue to pay for it.
Okay, so far we have the builders are dead. Then we have the total horror movie setup.
The builders are dead.
They're dead. We have a caretaker who watches the property for years. Mm-hmm. And then a tuberculosis center. We have all the ingredients of some oddity fun.
Mm-hmm. In 1941, it was officially given to the medical center until they left in 1956. So from 56 to 86, nursing offices were established in other businesses because there's 23 rooms. So they kind of just, divided them out, it sounded like. But in 1986, the restaurant starts and becomes known as the most haunted restaurant. So if we fast forward to 2023, the Whitney Mansion is still a fine dining establishment. They host special events to celebrate holidays, birthdays, anniversaries, weddings, along with daily 3-course meals.
Ooh.
So you can go for tea time or champagne tours, or you can just stop at the Ghost Bar.
Do you feel the most powerful and beautiful with the elements of the earth around you? Do you like one-of-a-kind jewelry? Do you sometimes feel like a woodland fairy? Me too. That's why I created Holly and Hemlock, a magical shop filled with handmade wooden jewelry and metaphysical tools. Come check out our enchanting wooden wares at www.hollyhemlock.com and join us in honoring the magic and beauty of nature with each unique creation. That's www.hollyhemlock.com.
I love when they lean into the haunting.
And like we're going to do, you can either do a paranormal dinner tour, which gives you a historical champagne tour, a 4-course meal, a paranormal expedition through the mansion, gardens, and carriage house. It's only $199. That's what I wanted to do for my birthday. I know it's really expensive. I didn't think it was that pricey though. But you're getting a 4-course meal.
I think that's incredibly cheap.
Okay, your face made me think that you thought it was really expensive.
I would have thought it was way more than that. No, for a ghost hunt and a 4-course dinner?
I didn't think it was that much, though, when I wanted to go for my birthday. But then I was like, yeah, you're getting a champagne tour, a 4-course meal, a paranormal expedition through the house, garden, and carriage. Yeah, $199, that ain't bad.
Sounds like a deal.
Or you can opt in for the late night paranormal tour, which is, I think it starts at like 9:30, and it allows you to stroll the mansion, garden, and carriage with cocktails and appetizers. That's only $39 though. Wow. So if we wanted to just like go to the Ghost Bar first and then we could do the tour, we don't have to do the $199 4-course meal.
I'm kind of down for the 4-course meal.
I know, me too. Okay. But obviously we're talking about this place for a reason, and kind of like what you alluded to, and the restaurant is literally called the Ghost Bar. You guessed it. This place is haunted.
Bum, bum, bum.
Let's get into some of who might haunt or what haunts. Things that happen, whatever you want to call it. Flora, actually. So even though she never lived in the home, it's thought that she haunts the mansion.
Well, yeah, her husband took her sister, of course.
I put probably because she's like the devastation of the betrayal of her sister getting to live in that mansion with her husband and children. I'd probably put my ass there too. So some accounts say that it's thought to be a woman, which they think is her, on the 3rd floor in the women's restroom. They hear her a lot crying, just like sobbing in there. And there'll be no one in there. Mm-hmm. This is wild. So one story is said that a woman that was having a drink at the Ghost Bar encountered another woman in the 3rd floor restroom. They had a lengthy conversation. So this lady literally was in the restroom, washing her hands, whatever, is talking to this lady, right? She kind of noted that she was wearing like historical clothing and whatnot, blah, blah, but they're having a lengthy conversation. It doesn't say what it was about, but so she's thinking that this was an attendant of the Whitney. So she goes back to the bar and she's talking to the bartender, and she was told that there isn't an attendant of the restroom. Like there is no attendant for the Whitney like that. And it was even noted, like, nobody dresses like that. Like, it's not a thing that they walk around and dress like that, apparently. So he's like, no. She actually demanded to see the camera footage.
Oh, no.
There was no sign of the woman.
I was just going to say, I wish that there was some proof of it, because if I ran a haunted bar, I'd put a lady in old-fashioned clothes in the bathroom and then gaslight her at the bar.
Well, she left so upset. Like, I guess, like, she was just, like, so upset, like really pissed off, because she thought she was being pranked. Like she didn't think it was a ghost or anything. She literally thought that they were messing with her, and she left like extremely mad.
I would have thought that too.
I would have thought I saw a ghost. All right. Not a respectable haunting without a ghost child. So children. Staff will hear children playing on the 2nd floor and in the 2nd floor bathroom after hours. I don't know what it is with the bathrooms at this place. Why are we hanging out in the bathrooms?
Water.
Oh, that makes sense, actually, because kitchens tend to be.
Yeah, it's
yeah, you're
a lot
right.
of people think especially if it's like a natural water too. There's a lot of energy around it.
You're right. That makes a lot of sense. It's also a lot of reports of children singing, which makes me want to crawl into my body and die. Ghost children are the worst.
Can we just put it to children in general?
No, because number one, they died as a child. That's horrifying, right? That's really sad. Children tend to be creepy anyway. So then a ghost child's even creepier, or it's not even a child. It's something pretending to be a child. So no matter what way you go, it's horrifying. All right. An EVP was heard on a child's voice that mimicked quiet on set during an investigation, which I think is so cute. So somebody was, that part's cute. I guess it's not horrifying. That part's cute. So
wait, were they telling the ghost, like, we're about to be recorded, quiet on set?
No, so they probably were like, okay, everybody quiet on set. And then they hear this EVP of a little kid that says, quiet on set.
It's wonderful.
That actually is funny. Okay. A paranormal team, the YouTube name of the person is Mortiz, Mortiz. But they captured an amazing picture of a child standing on the staircase behind the group. It's really creepy. I wanted to send it to you before, but I wanted to wait. But it's like 5 pictures. So they took like 5 or 6 pictures, like one after another. Yeah. And one of them was like a live one. And you can literally see the child appear.
Oh, wow. My hair is starting to stick like straight up.
I'll have to send it. It's good. Or I could put the link in the Instagram or whatever. The elevator. So this is said to be the most active. The elevator will pick a floor and let somebody out or let somebody in, and then it'll just go to another floor. And it does this a lot, apparently. I think it's most likely the family riding it, right? I mean, they were the first ones to have one in their home. Like, they got to get their money's worth.
I was going to say, why would they probably paid a decent chunk for that? You got to
hurt a penny. This is really wild. So, back to children being creepy. They always see creepy things, right? Like they see everything because they don't have judgment or whatever you want to call it. So a couple and their child were waiting to get on the elevator. They're going from the 3rd to the 1st floor. The door opens. The child kind of peered in and he said, "We can't go in there. It's full." And there was nobody in there. But he refused to go in. And not because he was afraid, but he's like,
oh no.
This is too full for my liking. I ain't getting in. And he didn't get in.
Good on him. Sometimes I wish that site didn't go away when you weren't a kid anymore.
To an extent, yes. So the windows, maybe because they're worth more than the house, but a lot of the staff will see people looking out the windows. So whether you're looking outside of the Whitney, you'll see people looking in the windows, or if you're inside and you'll just walking through the rooms, you'll see people peering out the windows. So there's multiple claims of that. Well, not people, like apparitions.
So they're straight up looking in the window at you?
They're looking out. No. So okay. So one time at closing, a staff member was going through all of the rooms, making sure everything's good. And he looks into a room and he sees a gentleman looking out the window.
Okay.
And so he asks him to leave and he just dissipated.
I thought at first you meant they would see from the outside them looking out, or if you're on the inside, you'd see people looking in. And for some reason, having people look in on you would be so terrifying.
No. I see what you mean. Yeah, no. But a lot of people think that might have been David looking out the window, just peering out.
The Baron still running the place.
This one's kind of wild. So nurses. So in 2019, a vendor was driving up and saw a nurse trying to escape out the second window, the second story window.
Oh, no.
But I'm sorry, can you imagine you're just a vendor, you're dropping off cups or something, and then you look and there's a nurse trying to climb out the second window of a mansion of a restaurant. Well, a restaurant. So he tells the staff, they go and check and they don't find anything. And the vendor didn't even know that the Whitney once held a medical staff that had nurses. So at first I was I'm not really sure why a nurse would be escaping. But then I was maybe it's a patient that stole a nursing's outfit thinking that he could or he or she could get out. Maybe it was a tuberculosis patient that was trying to escape. I
wonder if it was during the tuberculosis times.
Right. So maybe they stole a nurse's uniform to try to I don't know.
Maybe she's just been locked in there for too many years. She's had enough.
Yeah, maybe she died there of tuberculosis. There's also a lot of claims of people just hearing coughing attacks or coughing, which makes sense because of tuberculosis.
I swear to God, anywhere where there was a lot of people with TB, those places are all haunted now.
They are. It's really sad.
Probably a lot of energy and sadness and all that all at once. Like, it's going to leave an imprint.
So Grace Whitney, which is one of the daughters, I think she's the youngest child. So Grace Whitney / the Carriage House is like really apparently a lot of activity there. And it's her, like she's in the Carriage House. So this was said to be her favorite place. She has a little tea table in there, and she would sit and she would look out the window while sipping tea, watching the family horses. That was like her favorite thing to do. During some renovations of the Carriage House, they removed her table, her tea table, and her teacup, and things started getting crazy. Like they said, like there was floodings, like things were just like amped up, like wild in the room. And then once they were all put back, it slowly stopped. So it's like, just give the bitch her tea.
I mean,
it's probably
the
calming
only
tea.
thing that she has.
Right. I mean, I don't think they like were going to not put it back. They were just trying to do some renovations, but like that table and teacup got moved and she went wild.
You don't mess with that.
So other than like your normal hauntings, like, you know, you hear things, see things out of the corner of your eye. They say that there's a lot of like almost like mist that will appear from the floor or go into the floor. That's one of the things that a lot of people say, which I'm like, I want to see it.
I know. I want to go really bad now.
Taps visited.
Oh, yes.
Yes. So they, along with the staff, basically don't think anything malicious is going on there. They just think it's the Whitney family just living their life and trying to enjoy their home still, which none of these really sound scary. I mean, they're alarming, but nothing really bad happens.
No, it's not like people getting clawed.
Yeah, don't mess with Grace and her teacup. That's all. But some of their findings include lights. This is weird, and I did find this clip of the episode, but light, it was like a light looked like it was coming down, like a ball of light was coming down the staircase. And you can see the guys even move out of the way because they think something is like coming down the staircase. Like it's wild. And you're looking at it from a side view. So they're looking up the stairs. The camera that you're seeing is like a side view. So you kind of see it, but they're like, what the hell? And they like move out of the way, which is like, I have goosebumps.
Same.
I don't have goosebumps. And then they said that the most activity that they got was in the Carriage House. And they even heard like strange sounds, footsteps, and they also caught a female voice in there, which was most likely Grace.
Okay, so since Taps doesn't think it's anything
malicious,
thank you. We're not going to name them, but I bet you there's another ghost hunting group that would immediately say it's a demon.
Well, they didn't go, so
thank God.
We don't have to worry about that.
I had to throw it in there when you said Tap said it wasn't malicious.
I know, because they wouldn't. Like, they're... Oh, my God. Anyway, that is the history and some of the hauntings of the Whitney, which I just didn't know. Like you said, I knew it was, like, allegedly haunted, and people always are like, yeah, it's, like, a really cool place to go. But I didn't know that it was, like, a tuberculosis center. I didn't know, or hospice for tuberculosis, and then nursing. Like, I didn't know any of that.
It's crazy, too, how many of, like, those, like, the old big residences, they always turn into, like, I feel like it's, like, 5 or 6 different things, but they always end up a restaurant.
Yeah. I wonder why.
Have you been?
No.
I've never actually been either.
I know, that's why I really wanted to go for my birthday, but I know shit just didn't pan out, but we really need to go. Even if we just go to the ghost bar.
I'm so down. Because
I can go to the 3rd floor bathroom and see if I can hear Flora crying.
You're going to have a whole conversation.
I swear, if she talks to me, man.
You're like, let me grab my notebook. I just, do you want to be on our podcast?
Can I just like voice record this, please? Pop you in the podcast? Can you imagine, though, being that lady? Because, you know, she probably had some really expensive drinks. So she had a couple drinks, couple cocktails. She's feeling good. Goes to the bathroom, thinks that she's talking to like an attendant that's dressed in the time of the mansion.
Did she know it was haunted?
I don't think so. It didn't sound like it. No, this lady, from what I was reading a couple accounts, like she left really pissed. Like pissed because she thought
you can't go to a haunted bar and then get mad when either you're pranked or you see a ghost. But like if you went in totally unsuspecting, I guess I can understand.
I mean, I guess though, why would you think it was called the ghost bar? I feel like you'd have to know that it was haunted because everybody knows the Whitney's haunted.
Yeah.
Right?
I think so. I mean, I've always known.
I feel like anytime somebody says like the Whitney, Detroit, you just think it's haunted. But I mean, I guess if you don't believe in that stuff, I mean, she was mad.
I wonder if the Nain Rouge has ever eaten there.
Oh, no, but I'm surprised he didn't like stop the building from happening.
Seems right up his alley. You know how he loves wood buildings.
That's what I'm saying. But anyway, before I forget, Michael Bixler, shout out. He's been my neighbor, was my neighbor forever. He was the one that was like, me and my girlfriend just went there for dinner. Well, this was like a while ago. He told me this, but he's like, you should cover it. And I'm like, oh yeah, I will. Like, that's a good idea. And then I was thinking about trying to do something local and I'm like, the Whitney.
Sweet. Well, appreciate him for giving us the idea or giving you the idea.
Yeah. So now we really have to go. So when are we going?
I'll be back on that side of town in 2 days.
Oh yeah. We should go Friday.
All right, let's go for a drink Friday. We'll report back to everyone.
Because I work in Southfield.
Perfect. Okay,
I'm going to have to change, though. What do we have to wear to a ghost bar, you think?
I don't think they have special dress codes for ghost bars. You must have one piece of ectoplasm.
I'm trying to impress Flora in the bathroom.
Well, then dress in old-fashioned garb. Or if you're really trying to impress her, tell her you're a wood baron and you'll be fine.
Well, no, I don't know. She might kill me then.
Oh, true.
Because he married her sister.
Ugh. That's just disgusting.
You know what, though? Why do I feel like that happens a lot in this time frame? So is it like a thing? Like, do you not want to like...
I think a lot of family is like married to join families together, right? Like you would take two powerful families. So if you already joined the families, then... I
didn't read anything like that. Like, it didn't say why he like married his sister. But
For
I was
anybody listening right now, we are totally speculating. This is not researched. We're just chatting.
Meow. That's like Blue's Clues. Meow, meow, meow. Anyway,
enough of that.
I love Blue's Clues. No, but what I was thinking is like, well, I was thinking like for divorce purposes, but she died. I was saying, do you have to give money to the family? So you're like, screw it, I'll just marry the other sister.
No idea.
All right, well, rant over.
Well, we'll let you guys know if we see anything on Friday. Maybe we'll go live for a second. We'll see how many drinks we have.
Well, let's see if we even go.
True. Cool. Well, good job, dude. Appreciate it.
Thank you. I was going to say, keep up the good work.
I know. I did such a great job on this episode. Thank you.
I don't know why I was going to say that, though.
All right. Well, as we're wrapping it up, I know we're usually asking for reviews and likes and all that kind of stuff, but we do have a brand new website. So if anybody wants to go check that out, www.oddityshoppodcast.com. You can write in themes if you want there. You can write in personal stories. Check out all the episodes. There's links to all of our socials through there. So kind of a new hub for everyone.
Yep. Zach got high over the weekend and just pounded out a bunch of shit. A website being one of them.
Had a couple gummies and just actually got creative. So
it looks really good. All right. Well, then other than that, do all those things and creep it really, oddballs.
Goodbye.
Bye.